Boom! What's up, my friends? This is Steve Larsen. Excited for today. I'm going to talk to you guys about the 4 costs.
I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
Hey guys, so the 4 costs. Now this is an episode I've been really excited to actually toss out. This is something I realize I've been teaching, but I haven't actually put an episode out about it. And honestly, I get a lot of responses from people that are like, Steven, dude, you put some crazy awesome crap out on your podcast. I'm like, thank you very much. I treat this kind of like my journal, so I'm documenting my journey, right? I crossed the 1 million, by the way, which is very exciting. I left my job 2018, January 1st, 2018, and to go make my first $1 million. And February 1st, 2019. So it was just over a year. My goal was $1 million, and it was just over a year. It's really exciting. It's the first year out the gate. It's 13 months that I did the $1 million in, so I'm really psyched about it. I haven't been actively doing lots of selling this past little bit, but the systems I've built had enough pressure in them that we're still doing just about 6 figures a month, which is awesome. But my goal this year, though, is 4 million, okay? And I'm like, holy crap. I think I've got the one in the bag, and I know how. What I haven't been doing is actively doing a lot of selling yet. I'm just telling you guys, I'm just being open, okay? I haven't been doing a whole lot of selling on some of my main core products yet because of what I'm going to talk to you guys about right here, okay? There's 4 costs, and what I've been doing is I've been looking to see which costs I'm willing to spend now and which ones I'm not. And so I've got notes here on my phone just to make sure that I've got it all here. Cool. And I want to walk through 4 different costs and what the benefits and cons, I guess, of each of them are. As I go and I'm setting up the structures that can handle that kind of revenue, right? There's multiple ways I can spend resources to do that. So I'm setting up the systems, I'm putting all kinds of things together. Anyways, this is something, like I said, I've been teaching, I just haven't really walked you guys through yet. So anyways, here's the 4 costs, and I'll walk through them as we go. When I first started this game, this is like an epic failure, okay? I couldn't feed my wife, and a lot of you guys know this story. I couldn't feed my wife, and I asked my dad for cash, and he said no, thankfully. And I asked him to float us a little cash because we were getting a student loan coming on in. And he said no, which is great. I'm glad he did because it put a fire in me to provide. And I started running and just trying tons of different kinds of businesses. Well, one of the first businesses I was in the middle of kind of trying, and trying is the wrong word. I mean, I was like actively selling. I was going out and I was doing selling-based activities, and it wasn't working. And thankfully, because otherwise I'd be stuck doing a lot of the businesses that I was trying. Like looking back on it, like, oh gosh, I'm glad that didn't work. Otherwise, I'd be doing it. Which might sound a little bit weird, but I'm glad. Sometimes your failures are like you're meant to fail. Which is great, and that's that. Hindsight's 20/20. Hard to feel that way in the middle of it. But anyway, one of the first businesses that I went and I was doing was trading stocks. Okay. And it was stocks and options. And I was going in, and we were in the financial markets, and I was studying, and I was learning about markets in general, and I was learning how it was really cool. I loved it. I had a ton of fun learning all about it. But we were taught some really interesting things. We actually found out about 5-6 months in that the guy that was teaching us knew that what he was teaching was old, outdated strategies. It was just educational. It was meant to just be an educational-based thing. And in my mind, that's very unethical, but anyway, that's what they had done. And so I was like, crap, I don't know, is this gonna work? Are you serious? I went and I borrowed 15 grand I didn't have to go through those. One of the major strategies that they were teaching us is guys, you can use your own money, or you can use OPM, other people's money. And that's very sexy as a sales message, okay? But
It's so stressful, man. That's like the big thing that I was taught in college too. College taught me when you get into business, it's all about OPM, other people's money, right? You're gonna go make a business plan. I'm gonna teach you how to write a business plan so that you can go and actually get funding, right? Get VC funding. But it's so fun. There was such an emphasis on how to actually acquire funding, more so than how to actually make a product that sells, how to make a sales message that sells. Like, it's mind-blowing to me, man. I don't understand why that message is there, okay? There are more than one way, though, right? There's several ways to acquire the firepower you need for whatever it is that you're doing. That's what this episode is about, and I just want to walk through them real quick with you, okay? It's not going to be a long episode, but like, there's multiple ways to get what you want to do, right? You can spend your own money, right? The way that that's very sexy in sales messages, and please be aware of that. As you go around and you're walking around, you're seeing people saying things like, hey, you don't even need other people's money. It's like, yes, but that comes with handcuffs, you know? Anyway, beware of that. There's several kinds of costs that I want to walk through with you guys today, specifically for them, so that you can see like what your options really are. You don't have to borrow, okay? You don't have to go, like, you don't have to do like a lot of the stuff that's taught out there. That's one of the reasons I'm so aggressive with what I teach here, because I'm like, look, if you don't want to be handcuffed, my friends, like this is how you do it, okay? This is how you do it, okay? Hopefully this marker works well. Yeah. Okay, it's 4 costs. Again, if you're on iTunes, just know I'm on the whiteboard. You're not going to miss anything out, though. I'm going to just speak it all anyways. Okay, but there's 4 costs. Okay, and this came from me going through people's funnels and teaching that, right, there's all we care about in the funnel game. There's really 2 metrics that matter a lot. I mean, there's others as well, but there's 2 specific ones we look at a bunch, which is average cart value, meaning how much money comes in each time a new customer comes in, right? And because of upsells, it's usually higher than the price that you're selling your first product at. Okay, so there's average cart value and then cost to acquire. But as I've done more and more of this game, I realized that like on a macro level, there's more cost to acquire than just money, right? There's actually multiple costs. There's actually multiple ways I can spend resources and to get the things that I want. Okay, so the first one is your money, right? The first cost is your own money. Your own money, okay? And that makes sense. Right, when we say average cart value and cost to acquire, cost per acquisition, we're specifically usually talking about ads cost or dollar cost. Okay, how much money can I spend in order to go acquire a customer, which increases my speed. Now, the huge, like the benefit of your own money is speed. Okay, lots and lots of speed. Money is faster than time. Okay, money is faster than time, and I want to spend money rather than time. Okay. Ooh, I just dropped the next cost. Okay. Let me just move this here. Oh, sorry, a little reflection there on the board. That's all right. Okay. So the benefit here is speed. Okay. The next cost, though, is other people's money. And this is what other people were teaching us a lot of times in a lot of these early courses and stuff that I was going into. Is go use and leverage other people's cash. Leverage other people's money. And that's sexy as a sales message, but it comes with the most ridiculous handcuffs. It's insane, right? So other people's money, I'm just gonna put OPM. Other people's money. I hate that. I hate using other people's money, right? I could use other people's money as far as customers go and create like a little self-liquidating offer, right? Then my customers pay for my ads, right? But like, I'm not gonna go borrow money. The benefit of this is I actually can't even think of what the benefit of other people's money is. There's very little scenarios in my mind where you actually truly need VC funding, right? If I'm going to build like a stadium, right? A factory, right? Like, you know, that makes sense. That kind of stuff. Stuff has to do with the infrastructure. But even then, like, I'm going to go buy an office soon, and which I'm really excited about. But I can't even. I'd rather create the cash flow first than use that. Anyway, I can't even think of many scenarios, especially with the world that we're in, man. Right? I'm sure there's other scenarios out there, but internet direct response marketing, which is what I am, right? That's what I do. That's what you do, I'm assuming, if you're watching this podcast, this show, right? I can't think of many scenarios where you even need that. Okay, the next one, though, is your time. Okay, there's time as a cost, and there's also money as a cost, okay? Time
Okay, so your time. Now, this is what most people spend when they don't have any cash flow for a while. And that's great. That's okay, right? Meaning, in fact, I was just talking to my wife about this last night. Like, I was wearing, it's funny, I touched my hat. I was thinking about it. I was wearing so many hats at ClickFunnels when I first got hired there because we didn't have a full-time designer or copywriter or photographer or email writer or, right? There was none of that. It was literally, it was like Russell and I, and then we would outsource to a few design guys every once in a while. And so that's one of the reasons I got so good, guys, is just because I was doing with him, you know, we'd do all the copy, all the design, the actual funnel building, the sales message writing. A lot of times we just take our phone out and we would just use our phones as the sales message for the sales video until we did get a few people to come in and start filming. But a lot of times that's how we did it, which is with our phones. And then we'd write all the email sequences. We'd create all the launch campaign. Then we'd create the evergreen campaign. I mean, it's huge. Then I would set up the fulfillment, and I would go work with the fulfillment houses, and I'd make that link happen. Then I'd work with the person who's actually sourcing the physical product. It was like all aspects of it. It was insane, okay? We did that forever. We did it like the first year, and then we started bringing on these other people and learning how to outsource and use them. And it was exhausting, right? The benefit of it is that you learn like crazy. You kind of become a jack of all trades, okay? Jack of all trades. A joke. Okay? The problem is that jack of all trades don't scale, right? You just can't. Like right now, the time we're recording this, there's a lot of people who are building funnels for me now, which is great, right? Which leads me to the next kind of cost and my favorite kind of cost, which is it's your time, but it's duplicatable time, okay? It's time that duplicatable. Okay, your duplicatable time. And I don't know of another word to say this, but outsourcing, man, right? I'm not the one building a lot of things in my funnels anymore. I'm not the one who's going in and, right, it's still my time, but like, think about it in terms of sales. Like when I was doing door-to-door sales, I was using specifically this kind of cost, my time. I was the cost. I would walk around, my time was the cost. I'd walk around and every single door I'd say the same script, but it was one-on-one. And so you can't scale that, right? It was still a fantastic learning environment. I mean, I learned a ton of stuff that I don't feel like I would have learned anywhere else. And I believe it's catapulted me. I really, really appreciate my door-to-door experience a lot, okay? And telemarketing as well. Oh my gosh, they were awesome. But I'm using my time. That's the only, right? And you kind of have to become, not in that scenario, jack of all trades a little bit, but like there's no way to make it bigger. When I started like when I was doing door-to-door, like a lot of you guys know the story, right? I went and I started seeing all these ads on billboards as we were driving out to our areas. And I remember explicitly, I was going through a bad phase, man. I was in a bad mood. And we were driving out to our area, and I was looking at these billboards and these ads. And I said to myself, man, I'm going out there trying to sell people things that were not planning on spending money. Right? I'm a door-to-door sales guy. They weren't planning on spending money. I'm going to walk out and try and sell them. But people, I remember I said this. I was sitting in the backseat of the car on a highway, beautiful blue sky day with a little bit of clouds. It was awesome. Okay, amazing day, but I was in a bad mood. I'm going out trying to get people to spend money who are not planning on it. But people calling these billboards are asking to be sold. And that was the first time I ever put an ad or anything on the internet. I went back to our apartment after that day and I made an ad and I put it on Craigslist and KSL. I was in Utah doing pest control sales. And I put it on all these like free classified ads places. And I put this ad up about our pest control. Now, I didn't know it at the time when I was doing it, but I was totally breaking all these laws because it was pesticides and you had to like display your certificate and stuff like that. I didn't know that. So like within a month, like all these government places had called. They're like, you got to turn that off. But in the meantime, that month, okay, I made a ton of sales. My phone blew up. Okay, people were calling, begging to buy. I got ants in my walls. You know, I can hear the bugs in the floor, whatever. And they're like, please. And I'm like, you should probably get our top package. They're like, okay, just come, right? It was very, very interesting, and I flipped the game. And it was part of me learning how to pitch one-to-many through ads in the internet, which is why I stopped doing door-to-door. Okay, I came over it. That's why I do that. Kudos to you though who are using this in door-to-door. That's awesome. Anyways, but I was using my time one-on-one, and then I created duplicatable time where I was pitching multiple people, but I wasn't the one doing it. You see what I'm saying? This is why I podcast so much. This is why I create content like crazy. This is why I build lots of sales funnels. This is why I create things. My main role in my business, it is not to be this type 3 cost individual. I am not a closer on the phone. I'm not the guy who's ever going to do that. Okay. And it's because I look at my time more valuably. I'm not down putting anyone who is in sales. I think it's awesome. You make just a crap ton of money. I mean, sales is the one area where there's not really much of a ceiling in a company, but no risk either because you're not the entrepreneur. So I'm not like, sales is the most prestigious thing in the planet in my opinion. But like, as far as like a CEO, it doesn't make sense for me to be the closer of my own company. It makes more sense for me to do activities that are duplicatable to my time, right? So I'm going to go do content because I make it once, and guess what? It gets downloaded thousands of times for the rest of my life. Guess what all those call to actions at the end are doing? Sending traffic to my funnels, right? Those are things that I should go do that will be there and live forever, right? Guess the other things that I'm doing? I'm building systems. I'm building teams, things that duplicate and expand me beyond what I could ever do on my own. More work hours are being put into my projects than I have hours in the week, right? By a lot, because I expanded my time. I created systems. I created content and things that live evergreen. So that's why like I love Facebook ads, but it's not my role to go learn them because I put a Facebook ad up. After a while, it dies, man. I don't like to learn strategies. I don't like to learn things that are not a little bit more of like an evergreen, they'll stick around forever style. Okay, so those are like the 4 costs, and those are the costs that I look at when I'm gonna go create a project or when I'll be in the middle of a project and I'll be like, I'm willing to spend my money for a while. So here's the main point of it though. When I combine duplicatable time, right, with my own money, and because of funnels, I can do that profitably. That's where the magic is. Those are the 2 costs I am willing to accept in my business. I don't accept any. I'm never going to take on VC funding. I've got an idea for the 6th show I'm really excited about. We're going to try and build a studio here and all this stuff. And anyways, it's going to be awesome. But even then, like I'm going to do projects that raise the cash for that. I'm not going to go borrow money. That'd be stupid in my opinion. It's so dumb. It comes with the most insane handcuffs. Okay. I'm not willing to spend time on things that are like one-off things as well. You'll notice like a lot of the way I live my life is that way as well. If I want to spend time, just kind of like shoot the breeze and blow time just a little bit, I want to do it out of pure relaxation, not out of business tasks. Okay. But when I combine my money, which increases speed because money is faster than time. Okay, money is faster than time. Okay, and that's how you buy your time eventually, right? Money, especially in this world, like money's faster than time. That's why I don't do SEO stuff, man. I know a lot of that stuff, like it stays on the internet slightly evergreen-ish, but man, like in a snap, right? The Thanos snap, right? Or sorry, Thanos, whatever his name is. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? In Avengers, boom, right? The algorithms could change. And now all that work I did for SEO is gone. That's why I don't do it. I go as fast as possible to paid advertising because it's something I can control more than the other kinds of costs, okay? And then I only ever do, as far as time goes, stuff that lets me replicate me. Systems, right? Content, things that live on the internet forever. That's why I repurpose my content to so many platforms. Because if one goes down, there's 21 other platforms that content is on, okay? All over the place. That's why I've been running the way I have with this stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave me a review on iTunes. I'd actually really appreciate that, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. As you likely have heard in my podcast, I left my job January 2018 to build my $1 million business, completely from scratch without any funding or any help, and I hit it. Right on February 1st, 2019, just 13 months later, we actually grossed $1 million, which is pretty awesome. Better yet, I got to keep a lot of the cash just because my costs are honestly not very high. That said, there's several tools though I use to automate vital pieces of my business, and ClickFunnels is one of them. ClickFunnels lets me build automated sales machines all over the internet that are non-stop pitching people for me. It's only $97 a month. Better yet, I don't need to be a coder. If you're asking yourself, Steven, are you giving me a blatant pitch for ClickFunnels right now? Yes, 100%. I think it's dumb when people don't use ClickFunnels, okay? It makes you more and saves you more. Basically, I have the power of an entire tech team in my hand, and I want you to have it. Go grab a free trial of ClickFunnels by going to freecftrial.com. I want everyone to have and experience the power of ClickFunnels in their business. So they're letting me hook you up at freecftrial.com.